Welcome back to episode 241 of the Recipe Video Game Podcast. Once again, I am your host, the Red Knight. Had some technical difficulties there, but we're going to jump right into it. Hopefully with the editing process, you won't even feel this once, it's officially actually up. But for my patron listening, yeah, we are back. So I'm going to start. So yeah, right now we are about to get into the actual Nintendo Indie World that just happened on May 11th, 2022. So without further ado, yeah, let's do that. Again, I didn't see actually anything that they showed on this thing, so I'm looking forward to see what they actually got indie wise.
Welcome to Indie World. I'm Ariko.
And I'm Amber. We're back today to showcase a slew of indie
A
games
slew.
coming to the Nintendo Switch system.
Our indie partners span the globe, from Sweden to Australia and Japan. And we can't wait to see what they've been cooking up. So let's get started.
Okay. That's a pretty art style. Oh, don't let the Earthbound Animal Crossing fans see this. They gonna go crazy. Now, hopefully they do see it. Right, that is the point. Damn, that's a lot of customization. It looked like Pikmin in the sense too. She had a whole bunch of characters running around with her. Ooblets.
Oh, don't you just love games that are cozy and weird?
Oh, I absolutely do. This charming creature collection and farm simulation game from Glumberland has everything to give you the warm fuzzies. Grow and train adorable little creatures called ooblets as you cultivate new life.
Ooblets, yeah, see, so they're like your little Pikmin.
Customize your character. Befriend the locals. Decorate your house. Run your own shop. And most importantly, have epic dance battles. You can even dress up your ooblet pals and travel to different locations. Visit the arcade.
Oh, they got an arcade?
Port Forward. Saunter through the spooky swamp.
There's so much variety in this art style. I love it.
Ascend the frozen peaks of Tippy Top.
Ooblets waddles its way onto Nintendo
This summer.
Switch this summer. Colorful and mesmerizing planets await in this fast-paced action RPG across the cosmos. In this deeply story-driven game by Stormmind Games, you'll use both strength
Some
and
cool
wits
character
to
models.
interact with
Original.
others and conquer the challenges ahead.
Nobody can say this game got a
Balancing the
generic art
duality of
style.
Your physical and mental powers is key.
Oh, they got puzzles and
Sacrifice
everything?
one for the other against opponents.
Nice.
Things might not turn out well for you. Ultimately, your conscience will carry the weight of your decisions. What kind of hero will you become? Choose your destiny in Batora, Lost Haven, launching on Nintendo
Batora.
Switch this fall.
That's coming in the fall.
こんにちは。
So it's a lot of games for this year, actually. I mean, they usually are like this, but we've seen them dive into the future a lot
私が
also.
学生時代の頃、流れるというテーマのコンテスト向けに好きなゲームからインスピレーションを受けて開発したプロトタイプ作品になります。私が学生を卒業した後にそれをブラッシュアップしたのが本作になります。シンプルな操作と直感的なルールからは想像もできないようなひらめく体験をご用意しておりますので、ぜひ Nintendo Switch で楽しんでみてください。
Watching it, like, I really like this though, right here.
Hey, if you're looking for a clever and challenging 2D puzzle platformer, then we've got just the game for you from Nama
So
Takahashi,
cool.
a one-person development team.
One person.
Here, you're a small robot named Alec, who's on a mission to restore.
So you gotta touch the light in order to like connect to
by using your electrifying powers to touch walls,
Like, you know,
floors,
to the actual bridge in order to
platforms,
extend it. That's mad crazy. I want to play this. This is mad cool.
And bring them to life.
Hey,
You saw that in order
don't
to
get ahead of
stop
yourself.
that shit from hitting you?
I mean, actually, you should.
That's mad cool.
Detach and throw your head to trigger objects. You'll need to retrieve it within 10 seconds, or else. There are plenty of hidden rooms and secrets to discover, so use your head, literally, to explore every nook and
Can't lie though, it kind of resembles Toad.
Elec Head bolts on
Elec
to
Head.
Nintendo Switch this summer.
I like that name too, Head. That game looks cool as hell. That was my favorite one so far. Oh, I remember seeing this game before. I don't remember where. It might have been one of the other indie directs, and I thought it looked beautiful. Look, I was like, yeah, the Link spin attack. Yeah, this game looks insane. Happy to see it again. That means it's coming out soon. We're definitely gonna get a release date, that means now, which is wonderful. The cinematics are crazy. Soundfall, there you go, yeah.
feel the
It might have been in one of the Xbox shows, actually, if I'm not
rhythm-based
mistaken.
dungeon crawler from Noodle
I
Cake
saw
and
it.
Jurassic Games combines looter shooter
I don't know, maybe not. It don't matter where I saw it. The point is, the game looks amazing. This game looks sick.
And tapping your toes. As a
This game got a
guardian of
lot. I mean, this year has a lot of good games.
Symphonia to battle the forces of discord. Move to the music solo, or with up to 4 players locally or online, as you restore harmony to Symphonia's
It's 4 players
corrupted
online.
lands. Levels and encounters are dynamically generated from the music, and there are over 140 songs to choose from. So pick the tune you want to hear before jumping into the fray.
Time your actions to the music and your power will increase. There are 5 different musical heroes to choose from. Over 500 pieces of equipment. For
Damn,
skill
over 500
customization,
pieces of
and
equipment.
thousands of loot combinations, giving you opportunities for multiple playthroughs.
Get your head bopping to Soundfall, launching on the Nintendo Switch system later today.
That already came out
Why is it freezing
today.
in here?
Well, not today.
Better be ready
A
to
few days
weather
ago.
the snowstorm in
It was
Wildfire.
today, the day that this aired.
Take on the harsh elements in this tactical roguelike deck builder from Deadpan Games. Build and customize your deck as you set off to put an end to the eternal frost.
Card companions and items are at your disposal. Use them to battle wave after wave of monsters, from the deceptively cute penguins to brash and brutal bosses. Plan your next move using the dynamic counter system and fell those frosty fiends. After each run, try daily
Card-based
challenges,
games.
or expand the hub town of Snowdwell to unlock new events.
A lot of
and
variety.
rewards. Helpful for your fight against the perpetual winter.
Wild Frost makes its snowy debut on Nintendo Switch this holiday.
That's perfect. With a name like Wild Frost, you gotta come out, you know, in the snow
Games, a small game
season.
studio based in Stockholm, Sweden. And we are excited to announce that our game, Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, or TAPS for short, will be coming to Nintendo Switch.
We first started working on TAPS in 2016. The idea was to make a game that is inspired by the feeling you got when playing with your action figures as a kid. We then added the strategy and fighting elements and turned the game into the wobbly experience that it is today.
Our wonderful community has been with us along the way and helped us shape the game with their suggestions and feedback. So together with them, we're proud to bring TAPS to this awesome platform.
You know, I had downloaded this game off Game Pass, and I actually never got around to actually playing it. And this feels like one of those games I like would have to play to actually understand what kind of game it is, because it looks like a variety of things.
Wobble wobble.
Wait, what?
It's like they're on
You heard
strings.
that right. In this
Like a
fighting
puppet show.
game from Landfall Games, you'll lead teams of over 100 wobblers in battle, hailing from ancient lands, spooky worlds, and fantasy realms.
Those wobbly physics are, very,
Wobbly?
Oh, they're awesome! And those aren't your garden variety battles either. Watch your wobblers flail and fail in silly simulated battles. Or make new ones in the unit creator and customize their size, weight, and speed, among other stats. Can't get enough of the wobble? Send them to fight your friends in online multiplayer mayhem. Say it with me. It's wobbling time.
You never cease to amaze me. Totally accurate battle simulator. Wobbles.
Wobbles.
It's way onto Nintendo Switch this summer.
Gato Roboto. Omnibus. Why does this just remind me of Hollow Knight, even though it's a different art style? In like the best ways. Oh, now it reminds me of what's the name of that damn game? Katana Zero. Contra. I get vibes of see, sitting on the bench, that reminds me of
You're a gruff
Hollow Knight,
woodsman
but I get vibes
on a
of
quest for revenge
a lot of
in this
different
noir
games.
Punk action adventure from Doinksoft.
Gunbrella.
Armed with the titular Gumbrella, you'll maneuver through
The
various
way he moves
locations,
around.
from a cultish town to a junkyard fortress. Use the
Yeah, I
Gumbrella
definitely wanna play this.
Glide, swing, dash, dive, and take out enemies in gritty side-scrolling combat.
Along the way, you'll scavenge for scraps and spare parts to upgrade the Gumbrella. And employ your sleuthing skills to assist a cast of increasingly bizarre characters in a world rapidly losing its natural resources. And that's just the beginning of your investigation. Plenty of dark twists and turns lie ahead.
Gumbrella launches on Nintendo Switch next year.
Next year. It's gonna be worth
Hey
it. It looks
everyone,
amazing.
I'm Jared Huntley, lead programmer on We Are OFK.
And I'm Luca LaFay, lead singer of the band, OFK.
That's crazy the way they did
Super
this.
excited to announce that our music biopic game is coming to Nintendo Switch.
Yes! Ooh, I can play it on a tour bus. Ugh, I can't wait to tour together.
We haven't seen each other since that music video brainstorm at your place in LA in 2019?
Yeah, wow. And with the game on handheld, it'll be easy to play the new episodes that are coming out every single week, back to back to back.
Can't wait to share OFK's story and music with y'all.
Hey Jared, can I get your opinion on tour outfits?
I really like the way that looks. Man. They went in with the art. Like, look at her earrings and then her haircut on the side. Like, the detail is insane. Oh, what? You have like the choice, light, dark. That was like sad, happy, the previous one. Oh, that's her right there. Who's introducing the game? We are OFK.
This musical narrative from indie pop band OFK is gonna take you on quite the emotional ride. Set in downtown Los Angeles, Itsumi Saito struggles to establish herself in LA's ruthless music scene.
Oh, she
while
looks
managing
sick
a
right there.
full-time job,
So I guess she's the main
a
like
social
villain of
life,
the game.
and a brutal commute. But a chance encounter with a rising Hollywood music producer may give her the edge she needs to achieve her dreams.
Through episodes released weekly and interactive music videos with a fully voiced cast, you'll witness the lives of Itsumi and her friends unfold.
you're allowed to take a break and not be okay for a second.
Thank you.
From fighting over song lyrics at band practice to sending silly memes via text, it's a heartfelt making of the band journey that's sure to pull at your heartstrings.
Them heartstrings.
We are OFK.
OFK.
Drums
Summer.
onto Nintendo Switch this summer.
So they're really gonna have it like a show where it's like
Hi,
weekly
I'm Dom,
episodes.
and
That's
I'm
pretty
Tom,
cool.
And we're Spiral Circus.
It's not really different from what, you know, what
and our
all
passion
these
for
battle
strange
passes
and
basically do
surreal side
now.
of art is what brought us together.
We've both come from really different backgrounds.
So that just bought battle
I was a
pass
research
point. Well,
scientist and
yeah,
Tom's a fine
basically
artist.
V-Bucks, but
Because
they're
of the
battle pass
pandemic,
points because that's what I'm
we've been
using them
entirely
for the
remote
next
team,
battle
and
pass,
almost all of Silk
which
has been
comes out
hand-drawn
next
at
month.
night by me, which seems entirely appropriate for the
Gotta
subject
try not
matter.
to buy
Our audio
RoboCop.
designer even set up a fish tank in his
See
studio
RoboCop up there.
to record the underwater sounds that you'll be hearing throughout the game.
We're really
All right, so
excited
let me
for
put
you
my
to
speakers
experience
up so
our
I can hear the
hand-drawn
underwater
work brought to life,
sounds.
and we hope you enjoy exploring the strange oceanic world of Silt on Nintendo
Silt.
Switch.
Oh, I remember
Deep
Silk.
breath and dive into the harrowing ocean.
I didn't play it,
abyss.
but it looks awesome.
In the depths of this puzzle adventure from Spiral Circus Games, you'll unravel long forgotten mysteries as you explore a surreal
And this is like the type of game I
underwater
like too.
filled with strange machinery.
I should try to get
ancient
around to
ruins,
this.
And dangerous ocean inhabitants.
A variety of sea creatures can be possessed.
It's like, because it feels like it's
Their
like
abilities to solve
Limbo
puzzles,
underwater.
navigate the haunting environment, and survive encounters against deep-sea Goliaths.
Oh, snap.
There's more
Where you
than
taking
meets
that
the
light?
eye in this
Oh, took the
unsettling
light.
monochrome world.
Is it dead now?
Plunge into the dark waters of Silt,
June.
launching on Nintendo Switch next month. Hey, a way to avoid traffic. Morning commutes can be a real jam, if you get my drift.
Oh, so you gotta set up traffic so it's good and doesn't jam up.
In mini motorways,
Mini
from developer
motorways.
Dinosaur Polo
What a
Club,
beautiful art style.
key to solving the city's congestion problems.
That's just gorgeous. Even the way the lines go over the other roads.
Bustling metropolis
That's hot.
and keep traffic flowing on maps inspired by real-life cities.
Wow.
As demands interchange, you'll continuously redesign and expand via upgrades like highways and roundabouts.
I love the
Ramp up
roundabouts.
difficulty by taking part in daily and weekly challenges.
Another
More
game
maps
that's
will
like
unlock as you become a master
weekly
road
based and
designer.
time based. That's cool
How
though.
long can you keep the cities of the world moving?
Because that means you just get more game in the future, more variety.
Mini motorways cruising onto Nintendo
So this been
Switch
out since
later
2019?
today.
Or is that when the company
Whoa,
was
a flying
founded?
hospital. That's new. I've never seen that before.
Then
Yo, the
hop
art
aboard
styles
this
came to
heartfelt
play
narrative
today.
adventure from
Which
Ghost
game had an
Town,
ugly
set in
visual style? Not
1970s
one.
rural Australia.
Every single one is beautiful.
As intrepid teen
Like, look at the
journalist
detail in this
Casey,
damn room.
You'll come to know a diverse cast
See
of
the
eclectic
medical
voiced
supplies right there on the
characters
right? That was
through the
insane.
stories they tell and the
A
moments
bucks.
you share. Each story unfolds in real time. at
That's
the
why you gotta
same
watch on
time,
the
so you
screen.
get to choose which ones you want to experience. Follow the hospital's inhabitants.
This is cool, man.
eavesdrop on them, or enter the room and be part of the conversation.
Darcy, right? Mrs. B's kid?
It's, Casey. Not, Casey. Just Casey.
Sure.
By keeping track of information in your notebook,
He's like,
and
sure,
spending
what
time
a
with certain
douche.
characters, you might unearth new stories, locations, and revelations. Multiple playthroughs will also give you the opportunity to witness other events, allowing you to delve deeper into the stories. and
So she
piece
just be
together
eavesdropping on
mysteries
everything.
more
This is mad
detailed.
funny. Wayward
Wayward
Strand.
Strand lands on Nintendo Switch July
Ghost Man.
21st.
A randomly
Cult of
generated
the
world
Lamb.
awaits in this action-adventure game from Massive Monster. As a possessed
Look at the
lamb
art style.
saved by a foreboding stranger from a ritual sacrifice.
That's what I've been saying for the last 5 years. It's like, dude, in order to make an ugly
Creating a
game
loyal community
in
of
this era,
worshipers.
it has to be by
Infinite
choice.
resources to build structures.
Because,
Then, gather your courage to break
I mean, what
down
game looks
dungeons
ugly?
like
All
the
these
Silk
games be
Cradle.
beautiful looking.
Venture through its dark depths, teeming with razor
Like this. This looks so dense. Look at the torches in the background. They could have easily just put light there, but they got animated torch is looking so beautiful.
Cult of the Lamb trots onto Nintendo Switch this year.
Underwater again. Looks like it could be a Pikmin game. Oh snap! Under the sea. Oh, it's a platformer? Souls-like. That's crazy. But a platformer? Because there was a lot of platforming up there. Shells-like. Hell yeah, it's a platformer. With the action and fighting of a Souls. Alright, that's dope. You saw him take his sword out? Man, epic. Definitely get Pikmin vibes, though, of the visual styles, which is a huge compliment. Another crab's treasure. Oh shit, another man's treasure, another crab's treasure. What a perfect name.
Hey Crab fans, I'm Nick.
And I'm Kalen. Previously, Aggro Crab released Going Under, and it didn't make us rich. So this time, we're selling out and giving the people what they want. Crabs. Our second project is
These dudes are hilarious.
Another crab's treasure.
Through our extensive research, we found that crabs are the perfect enemy for an action game. They've got natural weapons, can strafe from side to side, and you can hit their weak point for massive damage.
Hilarious. PlayStation 3 all over again.
And we want to create a game that maintains that challenge while being approachable for new fans of the genre.
Ooh, what if you died in one hit when you're not wearing a shell?
I just said it's supposed to be approachable.
Oh, what if every time you dodge roll, there's like a 1% chance that you just trip and fall over?
Well, looks like our segment's over, everyone.
It's time for Crab.
Yeah.
All right, Eriko.
Okay.
Oh, here we go with the crab puns.
Crabs.
This looks cool as hell. Like,
in this action adventure from Aggro Crab, you'll embark
I said, this one gonna make them rich. They said the first one didn't make us rich. I said, this one gonna make y'all rich. Look how pretty this game is.
Through this underwater world plagued by pollution and sinister secrets. You'll scavenge for trash and use it as a
And on Switch, come on. This is basically Zelda meets Mario.
Over 50 potential shells. So get shellfish with them and repel enemies with powerful umami magic.
Umami
If you
magic.
don't, you'll be in a pinch before you know it.
Oh, he made two swords.
One crab's
That was the
trash
chopsticks.
is another crab's treasure, which sidesteps
Damn,
our
2023. Cool, take your time. That looks awesome. Another crab's treasure. I ain't gonna forget that.
For our last segment, we'd like to show you a sneak peek of several more indie games coming to Nintendo Switch. Enjoy!
Montage time. No, seriously, not a single ugly looking game. It's like Cliffhanger. Didn't I just mention Cliffhanger too? In a sense. I like the way that looked. I need to see more of that one. I didn't even look at the date when it comes out. No problem. Hold up. That was a cool ass transition too. Just saying. Just saying.
Hope you enjoyed the slew of games.
I did. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
A big thank you to our indie community and indie partners working on games for Nintendo Switch. And as always, thank you for watching.
So yeah, now we're actually gonna get into.
On all the latest indie world news. Until
We're
next
gonna get
time,
into.
happy gaming.
Well, a few things. So the Gotham Knights gameplay I watched, just to be clear. But the Metaverse gameplay I haven't watched at all. So, or trailer, whatever it is. I know they look like CGI in the thumbnail. But yeah, I gotta pull that up actually because that just came out. Like I said, I didn't watch that at all. That's what it's called, right? Metaverses. Meta? It's insane how many things are called meta now. Because metaverse. Alright, give me a second. But yeah, speaking on Gotham Knights real quick, I was seeing a whole lot of hyperbole, man, about that game. Like that game footage. That I just couldn't explain it, but I got a few theories of why it is that the reaction I saw was exactly the way it was. Because I do got some gripes with the gameplay. Do not get it twisted. What the hell is the name of that damn game, yo? I'll find it. It's in my sub. Multiverses. There you got some metaverses. Multiverses. So, yeah. Let me pull that up. Hold up. Right now. Batman. Man, they can make CGI movies like this. That'd be awesome. The mascara.
Computer.
And Shaggy.
Hey, dude, what's going on here?
And Bugs Bunny.
Where am I?
What's up?
Who's that?
Look out. Hey.
I have no idea who that is.
Whoa. What'd I do to you?
I saw how Tom and Jerry, their fighting style is like they're fighting each other. And I thought that was so cool. Oh snap, he went Super Saiyan. Yo, if you know who that is, let me know in the chat, because I have no idea. By the way, if you want to watch podcasts live, all you have to do is become a member on Patreon. And you can easily watch podcasts live. Yo, who's that? Oh, Taz is in there? She would love him. I love Tasmanian Devil too, yo. He was my fave. Look at these two, Tom and Jerry. Oh, he snuffed Harley. I never would have thought Harley would have lost that encounter.
Look out below.
I don't know what's happening here. But
Yo.
This looks like a job for.
Man, I was just talking about one in the Man of Steel 2 today.
All right.
And I don't just mean another Superman movie. I mean the Man of Steel 2, the movie shot like it, like with a handheld camera and all that. Beautiful. Yo, Superman's suit texture is crazy. They played no games. May 19th. Close beta. Cool. Yeah, that look cool, that CGI trailer. The game, we'll have to wait and see. You know, I can't really judge that game until I actually get my hands on it. But, yeah, that was pretty damn cool. So now we're going to get into Gotham Knights. It's Gotham Knights time. All right.
Hi, I'm Jeff,
So
game director at Warner Brothers Games Montreal, and today I
watched this once in 4K. It's actually in 4K right now when I'm watching it again.
From our upcoming game, Gotham Knights.
I think visually, this game looks beautiful. I think the city looks great. I like the fact that there's actual people in the city versus all the other games where it's like usually empty. Just, you know, with bad guys. Like, obviously, this one's going to be mostly bad guys, too. But it's cool to see regular people around. And I think the game still... It matches the style of the Arkham games. Even if Arkham Knight, like, density of the city and stuff like that, probably looks better than this game. Off the top of my head, I would say. But look at the clothes, the armor, everything looks great in this game.
Ways of getting around the city. For Nightwing, it's his glider, the flying trapeze.
Come on, every game got to have a paraglider now. You just know it.
Are engaged in a hacking crime, so it's
So I thought this was cool.
Vigilante justice to the bad people.
And then obviously you got that Arkham style. Look at him running across, sliding across. I was seeing people try to hate on that. I'm like, but this is the way the Arkham games are. Spider-Man games, all that. Like, why all of a sudden are people trying to hate
you can also protect Gotham
on this style of game? Like,
Here's Red Hood. Red Hood
And then Red Hood bouncing around like this. I thought it was mad cool, like League of Shadow powers.
Uses mystical leap to
And
across the rooftop, springboarded by his own
again,
soul
I saw people try to bash that, like, oh, why he's doing that? I'm like, it's true to the source material.
And timing my
And not only that,
correctly makes it build
not only that,
Once the bar is
people were
full,
just playing Elden Ring with a
heroes
horse
can unleash
that
powerful
hops and skips through the air, and then have a single thing to say negative about it. But now this all of a sudden is a bad thing. I'm like, nah, I don't agree with that. Again, there's gonna be things here that I'ma feel aren't all that, but and I'll talk about those when I get to them. But none of this right here is bad at all. This is what we know,
which
Arkham
deals piercing damage to interrupt armored attacks.
style, you know. And I think the city looks interesting. Everywhere I look, every time they spin the camera around, it's something I want to go, you know, check out. Like, what's all of that on fire over there? Firefly, what's going on over there? People are like, oh, Robin doing too much flips. You know, Nightwing, like, huh? And I love the combos. You had this in Arkham Knight. Selina and Batman was doing this a lot. And Robin. And Nightwing. So I like that they still got that in there. And now look, they running around the city. Which is dope. And you can still zip line your way up, which I love. And then, of course, you got vehicle gameplay. Because I'm one of the people who absolutely love the Batmobile and Arkham Knight. I think Arkham Knight is a 10 out of 10 game. Let's be clear.
The Bat Cycle is
Oh, you said Steven Universe?
Gotham Knights.
He's from Craig of the Universe ago? Oh, I see. I don't know what that is at all. But she looked cool. For a second there, I thought it was going to be like an Avatar character, like Legend of Korra or something. But I was like, nah, that ain't them. Dude, this looks dope right here. The way he knocked him out the car, crazy. And I love like the rain on the floor. I like how lit it also looks. Like it's actually really clear. So I like the way the city looks.
Red Hood can unlock the ability to attach a bomb to thrown opponents, so he can
That's
detonate
hot.
it with a shot later. It's a pretty good time.
Come on, look at this angle, man. As a person who just said Arkham Knight was a 10 to me, how can I not, like, you know, be excited for the way this game looks like? It's more of that. And it's been years, man. We've needed more. And I love the fact that it's the fam, too. That it's not just Batman. Like, I wish Batman was in the game, because obviously.
Now we're back
but
in Belfry, the hero's home base.
I've always wanted to play the
This
main
sequence is from early
game
in
as the
game,
other
as
characters.
we're just discovering the Court of Owls.
When I'm playing those Arkham games, too. Like, it'd be cool to run through it as the other character. And they always did the little side mission stuff. But this is cool. Yeah, this right here. Right?
Pursue challenges
My
and
negative.
advance the story.
The way Robin walked right there. That's it. The way Dick was walking right there, I ain't like that
Story mission,
at all.
Investigating the old Powers Club.
I feel like you could have did a way better walking animation for him.
The workbench is where we
Like,
go.
why
to
is he
upgrade
so
our
hunched
equipment,
over and
making
miserable
sure that we're
looking?
ready for each
Like
new
he looks
challenge
cool
to
as
be
hell
met.
right there, though. And then they go
Players
through all the
find
armors.
blueprints
Woo!
and crafting materials for
Fire,
taking on missions
fire.
and fighting crime. Each blueprint has
Insanely
different stats,
cool.
giving the
Like
player
that look
a
like
wide
movie
range
outfit.
of cool
That right
choices
there
for
looks
their
like Japanese
individual
inspired, I
strategy
think.
and style.
That was like a samurai version or something. These armors are crazy.
Gear with mod slots is better because mod chips power up gameplay properties.
Sick. Sick. I ain't even remember that last one. Like, I know he's walking like with a purpose, but I feel like he didn't need to be so hunched over. And I'm a dude who walks like a goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Maniac, I feel. But, yeah.
At this point in the story,
That's too
our
much.
characters are still processing the loss of Batman.
Oh, Nightwing. That's too much.
You could visit her.
And then right here, you got Jason looking mad diesel. Crazy scar. Nice fade with the roguelike gray slit. I like the look. It's cool. And you know he done been through it. I would assume that scar came from the Joker when he was getting his ass whooped.
Sometimes you're an idiot, Grayson.
And Drake is in this one too, right? Tim Drake. I just think I don't think they show him here. And Barbara, obviously. That's the main person I'm gonna play with, of course. Barbara. This is so cool the way he comes in.
Players can unlock fast travel to get around the city in a hurry with the Fastbat.
The Fastbat. Nanotechnology, you know that. That's what they do in all these superhero stuff. That's the easy way to get away with all that.
Court of Owls. A secret society as old as Gotham itself. Run the city behind closed doors. According to the old poem, anyway.
Okay.
Come on, man. See, look at the fog in the city and everything. This looks beautiful.
Really is out there. They might be the ones getting all those creeps out of black.
Darkson, you said you got 2 shows mixed up?
They've been getting away with murder for centuries.
I hear you. Fingers crossed we'll learn more at the Powers Club.
Yo, this is mad cool. I'm just happy to see a new Arkham style game.
Sneak into court territory.
Just makes me happy. Yo, Darkson, how you enjoying this style of podcast right now? Let me know. Since it's the first one. I know I had technical difficulties where I had to split it in 2, but other than that, how you enjoying it?
They have a few guards. Long lunch too, huh?
I'm not complaining. Nice
I'm
to get a
asking the
break
chat
once
in
a
general
while.
too.
So what do you think the poor bastard did?
Obviously, they're not gonna be like this every week, but you know, certain occasions. I said when there's a lot of games that I could show footage of, I said why not, go live and do it like this, so I could just react to all of it. But my E3 reactions, I ain't gonna spoil you the way that looks. It looks cool. It's kind of the same theme like this with this setup, but I'm on camera, obviously.
And finishing moves.
You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be different. You'll
Faster
see.
than silent takedowns, but make
June
more noise.
12th.
Augmented reality vision helps the heroes solve puzzles and investigate mysteries.
And I love this, obviously. This is classic Arkham games.
There's something under
And the fact that it's in co-op is what makes it awesome.
The hatch is connected to some kind of network. There's got to be a way to open it.
Here we see Nightwing's elemental shockwave ability. It interrupts enemy armored attacks.
Like
and
all
deals
those
elemental
flips,
status
that's to
effects.
dodge bullets, and that's what they do in the comics. Like these
Crime
games
status freezes
is
taking them
based
out of the
off
fight for
comic books, and the characters should act like that. And I feel like that's the case with the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be seeing Spider-Man realistic. Like I want to see Spider-Man done realistically. That means the source material, bring it to life, and that's what Spider-Man, especially that last movie, did. So many shots was just
done.
Straight out of a comic book panel. Beautiful. So I like that the game, does all that. Like if it got a photo mode, you're gonna be able to take still pictures and just make straight comic slides with this.
Staircase.
The imagery is crazy. Then you got the Court of Owls right here, which is cool to see them in something other than, other than the goddamn comic book. It's good to see them get into more, things. Cause they're an interesting bunch. Yeah.
Heads up.
What do y'all think that smoke is? Is green? Is it like Bane juice, but in smoke form?
Check this out.
That owl, that's crazy cool. Damn, he picked him up with one arm and kicked his ass. That was insane. And then his fighting style is so different. It's cool. And put it like this. I'm playing Guardians right now. His fighting style looks close to Peter Quill's. But it looks better because it looks, I don't know, it just looks more kinetic. Like,
Red Hood takes on a
so
gladiator,
I like that game.
one of the
And if
Court
this
of
looks
Owls
better
engineered
gameplay wise,
superhuman assassins.
I mean, this particular character. Hell, and then this game you can actually play as the other characters, which I enjoyed. Which I'm not trying to hate on Guardians for not letting you play as the other ones because you utilize them and it was a choice. It's fine. But it's cool, like, what they're doing with this game.
Oh yeah.
Like, look at the visual style to this. People try to underplay this, like, it's not a good looking game a while. And the frame rate right here looks kind of slow, but again, the game is still in development. You know what I mean? And it's all good. They got time. He comes back. That's right. I fell for it again. This fight is not over. You can see they edited the fight. Who knows how long it was? How much of a sponge this guy is. It's cool that you could use that on a, you know, I guess a mini boss or regular boss. I don't know what this counts as. I know people are worried about like this being like the Avengers game and stuff like that, but I wouldn't do that. Like, I don't know why that game put so much fear in people's heart, because it's like you got Spider-Man games before that, Batman games before that, Injustice games before that, and then you got that, and then after that you got Guardians, which was good. You got this coming out, which looks good. Spider-Man's games coming out, Wolverine games coming out. Like, why all of a sudden that put fear in people's hearts when it comes to, you know, superhero games? Like, that's whack to me. Like, I get that this has a menu screen that looks similar with a bunch of different costumes, and but who knows if it's like what it's gonna actually be like. And it looks like you can experience the game and get costumes perfectly fine. What I will say is, I disliked with the pre-orders. That's what I was gonna say. I'm glad they showed that right there, because that was my biggest disappointment. It was the pre-orders. Well, the price of the game being $70 instead of $60 is corny as hell. I'm never gonna be behind that PlayStation 5, you know, bullshit pricing. But that's not really a problem with Xbox, because I can easily use Microsoft Reward points and get that game for free, which was always the intended plan. But I'll probably wait a little bit now, just because. I'm like, you going to pull that 70 shit? I'm going to get you on sale on purpose. Like, that's just the way it's going to be. I already said that once I saw $70 games. Because, yeah, people will be like, oh, support the developer. Like, that doesn't go to the developer. I promise you that. You know what I'm saying? That goes to the publishers. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. It's just, yeah, they're going too hard. Nickel and diming us. And people do, like, anybody who tries to justify, it's like, come on, man. Like, first of all, you standing up for this corporation, which is mad weird. Second of all, like, they nickel and dime us with these games with all this junk in the game now that we used to just get in games for free. Like, you just would unlock. And I'm not saying this game ain't gonna have stuff that you can unlock for free. It clearly has stuff in there that you can unlock for free. But they still gonna nickel and dime you with other stuff, you know? Darkson said, I'm digging the setup. The vibe seems a little bit different from the regular podcast in a good way. Thank you. I appreciate that. That was basically the point of this version. But it's like a mix of the two, right? Of like when I do live stream, like live reactions when I'm on cam and podcast. That's what I try to do, blend the two. So yeah, with the pre-orders, it's like they put a super cool Robin suit. If I'm not mistaken, it's for Nightwing to make him back into Robin, which I think is mad cool, and I want that. But then that's because the game is $70, so that's like not the super big edition, but the next one under that, you know, $100 and something one, which for this game is crazy. It does come with a beautiful statue. I don't know the size of it, but it is a beautiful statue. Yeah, that it's like a $90 edition. I'm like, $90 for some skins, and like, yeah, you get a like motorcycle skin, and I'm like, I'm happy with the motorcycle in the game. I'm fine with the suits in the game, and I guess they'll say, oh yeah, then you good. You know what I'm saying? Then get your $70 version. I'm gonna say 60. Can't even do that. And it's like, nah. why you keeping those cool costumes? And I'm not saying there's not gonna be even cooler costumes within the game, but those you'll probably have to purchase. Who knows? I don't know. It's like one of those things where I want the game because the game looks awesome. It's an Arkham game. I'm gonna get it no matter what. I own the Arkham games on Wii U, on Xbox. Well, I had it on Xbox One, but then, you know, obviously just got upgraded to Series. But I only had Arkham Knight actually on Xbox One, and the other games, since I had them on Wii U, I didn't have them. on the Xbox. I was like, what's the point? But then they be so cheap. They be like on sale all the time. Oh, $4 for the whole trilogy. I just bought the whole trilogy. I still got the Arkham Knight disc, but why would I ever use that? You know what I'm saying? When I just got it there digitally, and it's gonna play better HDR and all that already through this. Not like, so it's just like I'm gonna get the next game, and I'm gonna get kill the Suicide Squad. That's what it should have been. I'd rather play as the Justice League. But yeah, the Justice League kill the Suicide Squad. Yeah, of course I want to play that, and it looks awesome. And it looks way better than this game, visually and everything. But that's cheating because I'm sure the developers of Batman, Rocksteady, had more money than the developers of the Batman game that they don't like to mention, that they don't put in the bundles. I actually wish that I can get Batman Arkham Origins on the Xbox One X, but nope. Unless you get a disc, it'll play. Yeah, of course. But digitally, you can't actually purchase it, if I'm not mistaken. If you can, you let me know. Send me a link, because I'll buy it, even though I got it already on the Wii U. So again, it's just a thing. Like, the point I'm trying to make is I bought these games multiple times. I also own all of them on PC. So of course I'm gonna get this game. The whole thing is, like, you can see that they're doing a lot of bullshit around the game. With the way they want to sell it, with the higher price points for every version, and then like the costume thing. It's like, I'm not, one who goes crazy over like cosmetics and things like that, but when you got like a super classic costume for a classic character, you know what I mean? Which makes him even more classic. It's just classic all around, and that's the only way you could get it. That sucks. There's a bad girl there with her face like fully covered, and I'm like, is that the only way you can get a fully face covered Batgirl? That sucks. See, I don't know the answer to that, but that's not my fault. That's their fault. Because the first time they showed us those cool outfits, it's like no equivalent within the game. They showed us cool outfits within the game, but all of Nightwing's outfits were Nightwing. None of them were Robin. And I want Robin because, well, Dick Grayson Robin is better than Nightwing to me. And I love Nightwing too. It's not trying to hate. It's just, Teen Titans cartoon, old Batman the animated series. I've spent so much time with that, version, that interpretation of Robin. But yeah, that's Arkham. I was going to say Arkham. That's Gotham Knights for you. The game looks great. The game looks awesome. But yeah, there's a lot of tomfoolery around it. And Nightwing, when he's goddamn in the clock tower, be walking around like a goddamn beast for no reason. Like, yo, you home. Relax, man. If Bruce didn't walk like that, why is Nightwing walking like that? I get it. He's young. He got a chip on his shoulder. His father passed away. I understand that. Even though, do we think Batman really died? Or is he going to come out? Or knowing them, they're going to be like, oh, you can play as Batman now for $9.99. Like, come on, man. Just give us the goddamn Batman. Be nice, man. Be nice. All right, let's get into the main event, basically. That's why you see it in the graphic. It's a me. See, I'm used to hearing Mario sound like that. When that movie come out, oh my God. It's gonna be a paradigm shift, to say the least. Love this art style still. So damn good. All the art styles I feel like that you saw in this podcast today, were gorgeous. Look at this. Oh, she boost by him so fast. Damn. Yo, Darkson, you got to go on AEW Dark from yesterday, Elevation, and watch Brody clothesline the hell out of this dude from Dark Water. Steven Richards looking dude. Wow, his name just left my brain. You see how you could just push your teammate? That's mad cool. Even though I hope people online aren't jerks and just be pushing you when you don't want to be pushed. Like, relax, man. Strike orbs.
Avoid your opponents until you can charge it up and let her rip while your opponents are distracted. Each character's Hyper Strike has a different flourish and can score 2 points by showing that net who's in.
It made a heart. So those is 2 points.
Get rough. Pull off Hyper Strikes and work together.
Hit him with a red shell. Yo, Donkey Kong, let me tell you right now. Seeing Donkey Kong on the Switch finally, you know, actually developed for the Switch and made by Next Level Games is literally jaw-droppingly beautiful. Do you see the hair on him? That's the way I want Donkey Kong to look in the movie. Like, Donkey Kong looks so fire in this game. The best he ever looked. I'm like, please, just turn them, right? Make them face the right. Zoom the camera out. Put a beautiful jungle around them. And make a brand new goddamn Donkey Kong Country sequel to Tropical Freeze. No Kremlins would be, you know, a perfect 10. I'm that one guy who doesn't care for King K. Rool and the Kremlins.
A total of 8, yes, 8 players
with Joy-Cons.
on the same system, even using a single Joy-Con.
I actually just ordered a damn Joy-Con strap because I lost one of them. And playing Switch Sports without a strap is not something I want to be doing. Especially when friends and family, you know, come over. Because I don't want my TV with a damn Joy-Con through it. Look how fly she look. Look how fly he look. They all look fly. Siegfried, Perry, Tyler. I'm definitely going to create a club.
In Strikers Club, you and your fearsome friends play matches to accumulate points each season. These points determine your club's ranking, so keep an eye on them.
Okay. By the way, this announcer is doing a great job. Perfect voice for this.
Or you can strike solo for points. Your ranking at the end of each season determines which.
See, we could play co-op or alone. And when they say co-op, that means me and one of you can go online against other people in other clubs. Which then I tell you, watch when Strikers come out. It's going to have way better online than an EPD made online game. And here I am, correct. You want to know why? Because that's been already the case since Nintendo started online. Everyone does online better than EPD. EPD makes the coolest games, sickest gameplay, but online, they just don't get it, man.
Where anything goes. Mario Strikers Battle League. Available June 10th only on the Nintendo Switch system. Digital pre-orders are available now on Nintendo eShop and Nintendo.com.
I'll throw it back a little bit while I continue to talk about it. Yeah, this looks awesome, man. It's coming out very soon. What's cool is we get to play this and then watch, you know, the summer, you know, or what is it? Summer Games Fest, right? Jeff Keighley's. And then right after that, we got the Xbox show. And hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers. That Tuesday, we get a Nintendo show. Still crossing my fingers. I'm not going to stop crossing them until that Tuesday morning. Not even Monday. You know, it's like, dude, not really. Really, it'll be like the week before that. We don't got nothing announced the week. I'm like, yeah, it ain't happening. Even though it will be way earlier than that. I think by now, Nintendo would have announced or will announce, like this week, if it's actually going to do something that week that they want people to actually tune in for. I think they would announce it by now. Within what's today's date? Let me see real quick. Today's the 18th, ain't it? 17th. 17th. I mean, I say if you don't get an announcement by the 27th, yeah, we ain't getting no E3-like show from Nintendo. That's what I feel. If you don't get it by next Friday, don't expect a show from Nintendo, which again, you can't really get mad about that. Listen, the lineup this year is crazy. Nuts. And there's nothing to stop them from saying, oh, look, this game is coming out. We just announced it in the trailer. We didn't do a whole show just to announce one game. You know?
Avoid your opponents until you can charge it up and let her rip while your opponents are distracted.
I'm sorry, but if those are skippable, I'm never skipping them. Those little graphics, I ain't skipping them. I love the heart she makes. That was clean.
Get rough, pull off hyper strikes, and work together with your team to win. You'll have 10 total players on the field, with each
10 players on the field.
signature striker style. Need a jack of all trades? Mario's
Of
your
course,
man.
Mario is always the overall balance. Donkey Kong is always the muscle.
That's Peach's prowess. The rules may be
The big muscle. Look at that strength. His shit went all the way up when he put on that armor suit. That's the thing. They got to continue to put gear out so that there isn't this one perfect match in gear that everybody just wears and everybody spams. Balancing this game consistently, updating it with like little hot fixes and things like that to keep it balanced is the only way this game is gonna, I feel, you know, be able to have a long shelf life. And by that I mean a long community. Because shelf life, oh, it'll have a long shelf life. It'll sell a lot. But to keep it balanced so people don't get frustrated and upset, like myself, like, yeah, I'm not playing this no more because it's broken. Like, yeah, you got to keep updating these games. I think that's what any game that has a lot of moving parts that's online. You got to keep updating it to make sure, you know, the community is being satisfied and not just sitting there miserable because the community is actually utilizing things that aren't balanced in order to just break the balance of the game. That's when you got to come in and change it. Can you create a club and be in other clubs? That'd be mad cool. Nintendo about to get the FIFA license. They gonna pay that $1 billion they wanted? Cause that's what supposedly they wanted them to pay, $1 billion. Pay $1 billion and get it's gonna be Mario Strikers FIFA World Tour Cup. Yeah, right. If anybody gonna take that's probably gonna be Take-Two, right? So that they can have 2K making FIFA and all that. I do agree with EA that they oversell how much that name actually matters to gamers. I think you could take the name Madden off. Gamers are gonna know, oh, that football game coming out in August, that EA Sports game, because everybody know EA Sports big, get in the game. Like, this shit goes back. You know, like, people who play Madden, and I'm talking about actually like people who aren't super hardcore gamers. I'm just talking about people who play Madden in the hood, who just get Madden and probably like Grand Theft and Call of Duty on their console, right? They're gonna still know, oh, that's Madden, that's the EA football game, you know what I mean? And they'll still get it. Now, if you take away the license of the NFL, yeah, then you fuck. You know what I'm saying? 100%. You're done. You're out of luck. So, yeah, that was it for that. And now we actually going to get into some questions from you guys. And again, if you got any questions, you know what I'm saying, while you right there in the chat, feel free to post them in the chat and I'll get to them. But right now, I'm going to get to these questions from my patron, from my patron. And the first question comes from Jack Jam Jim. He said, what the hell is up with the usual suspects overreacting about delays on these games that were being developed in the state we are in with the pandemic? Really, and I didn't even mention the pandemic, and I know I talked about this already, but I'll still answer your question and try to add something to it. Really, if nothing gets delayed, that is the outlier. Yeah, you're 100% right with that, because everything basically got delayed. That's what I said. Like, PlayStation fans, like, celebrating and laughing at Xbox guys, like, it's weird. It's like, y'all stuff got delayed. Nintendo stuff gets delayed. Everybody's stuff gets delayed. The truth of the matter is, only one console manufacturer really only has enough games to satisfy their user base every year, in a sense. Yeah, it may not float everybody cup of tea, like, oh, a Pokemon game, but a Pokemon game coming out is a super huge deal every time it comes out. You heard the beginning of this podcast, you know, like, it's a super, super big deal. So they always got stuff coming out, little things, you know, bigger budget games, new IP, spin-off from popular IPs. Like the list goes on. I'm just saying, thinking like they do too much to sit here and cover it all, but they just do a lot. So like you'll have a year like this where it's just mad games, and not every year is perfect for Nintendo like this. Like I said, there's years where there's things that don't float my boat at all, you know. And I'm sure for me, when I'm looking at it, like yo, there's a lot this year. There's probably some people like, yeah, I don't care about none of those games. All I care about is Zelda, and it's like, yeah, I just bought my Switch to play Zelda. And it's like, well, then you're gonna be miserable for a long time. Honestly, if that's the reason you buy a Nintendo console, you might as well be a last generation gamer. And by that I mean you should buy Nintendo consoles at the end of their generation. While everybody playing on the new sexy, you should be playing the two other games that came out that generation if you're lucky. You know what I'm saying? On that console, and then just stick to another console. And at the end of the next console, just pick it up, and hopefully it'll be cheaper, and get the Zelda games and play them. Because I don't understand the point of buying a console and sitting on it and not playing nothing else on there and pretending. Because this is what you actually doing factually. You can't say, "Oh no, it's my opinion." No, you don't have an opinion when you ain't actually pick up a controller and try the shit. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of saying everything is just garbage. Like, come on, that's wild. You know what I'm saying? I don't own the PlayStation, and I'm not sitting there saying like, "Yo, Spider-Man is hot garbage." Like, no, don't like if Spider-Man came out tomorrow on PC, I will buy it. So that's just the truth. I'm just not gonna buy a console for one game really, and that's all I'm really interested in on PlayStation. Oh, and Wolverine, I guess if it comes out good, which it likely will, right? But anyway, back to your question because I'm going all over the place. So you said we should expect everything to get delayed if it's a quality release, not a half-finished game. And if they bring up stuff like Nintendo games and sports games, well, Nintendo games that have been released, all but two, Metroid Dread and Kirby, have major post-release patches to become complete, added new free modes, and sports games do not get released in a finished state. Of course not. Hell, even Switch Sports, which some people won't consider a real sports game, it is. It's mad real. It's literally my one-to-one. And it's real. Anyway, that game is lacking a ton of content based off the previous game. Because if you're just gonna base it on its own merits, then it is what it wanted to be, and that's what it is. But that's not the case because before the game even came out, they're like, hey, yeah, we're gonna do more stuff with that strap that we basically sold you, and also we got golf coming out, and potentially other games like dodgeball and basketball and who knows, man? Hopefully some ping pong. So let's see. What else did you see? You said, all right. So yeah, that was basically it for the most part because I covered this thing. All right. So Darkson in the chat says, I'll play something like this over a sim game all day. The FIFA name means nothing to me. Oh yeah, me too. You know what I'm saying? Like, but to a lot of people, it does, I guess, mean something. Well, again, I ain't gonna say that. Those games mean something to them. I don't know about the name. It's just, as long as they got the actual real teams, the real players, I don't care what name is on the box. The people who love those games are gonna purchase them. You could name a game, Dumb Dummy Battle of the Dummies, and it's the next Smash Brothers game, and everybody who loves Smash Brothers is going to be a dummy going to buy Dumb Dummy Battle of the goddamn Dummies, and everybody's going to be happy with it. Because at the end of the day, it don't matter what the name is. If the game plays good, or it's a Sakurai Smash game, all right, we good. That's what we needed to know. The name don't matter. The game could come in a blank cart. They can say, yeah, every blank cart you see is a Madden game. What would have been. They're going to pick it up, and they're going to go home happy, But yeah, that was the only actual question we got from, the patron side of things. So really now, that's it. That was it for this week's podcast. Unless you got something else you want to say, Darks, and I'll give you 2 seconds real quick to get something else in on, in the chat. I will say, I'm excited for the next season of Fortnite, which I've never been. This is the first time that I've ever been looking forward to a new season. I actually bought the V-Bucks I mentioned earlier just because I'm excited for it. Because I'm like, even if it's lame, they give you a bunch of good stuff, and when you're playing, you might as well just get stuff, right? And I actually got the V-Bucks for dumb cheap. I got them for $3 through GameStop because I'm part of that whole program. I became part of that program when I sold my my One X to get my my Series S, that power ups reward, and every month they give you like $5. And I saw it, and I was like, oh, you know what? I don't know what to buy with $5. So I was like, let me see if I could buy actual Microsoft points with it, and I could. And I said, you know what? Let me see if I could get V-Bucks with it, and I could. And I said, you know what? Which one? And I said, wait, let me see if I could get Nintendo points with it, and I could. So I said, cool. So it's not just for games; you can actually get points and stuff like that. But I actually went with the V-Bucks because I said, honestly, it's needed right now. It's very much so needed. Yeah, but I've been having fun with that. Been having fun with Guardians. Obviously, Nintendo Switch Sports, playing that so much fun with that game. Frustrating, but fun. Still fun enough that, listen, I put more time into that than Kirby, which I looked at the other day, yesterday actually, and I was like, yo, damn, that's crazy, because I thought I put a lot more time into Kirby, but that is not the case. But I'm not done with Kirby. I still got to go back to Kirby and do some stuff, and hopefully that'll actually be the next stream I do. It'll either be Kirby or it'll be some Fortnite, one of the two, but it'll be those two games before I get back to Tunic. And yeah, who knows what else I'm gonna stream after. I'm gonna stream some Doom Eternal at some point this year for sure. Obviously, I'm still doing the Road to Zelda. I will be streaming some Breath of the Wild, and the road will continue. The road got longer, but the road will continue. And yeah, that's basically it, man. There's a lot of games coming. Then, a lot of games come out, and then things get bumped. It's like, oh, I was about to play this, but then I got to play that because this thing came out. And it's going to happen. Again, if you think that Starfield was the end-all be-all for the Xbox, I don't know, man. I think you're going to be disappointed in a good way, because you'll be disappointed to know that there are, that it's not the case, and that there are other games. Because I don't know. It's so weird to me, like, people, how could they make a show, right, and not have any single announcement say coming fall 2022, coming 2022? Like, if you really believe that, if that happens, right, and I'm wrong, and there's nothing coming out from Microsoft exclusively in 2022, and this show is just nothing but 2023 stuff, yeah, that's wild. That's absolutely crazy. But I do truly believe, and I stand by this, and I'll repeat it before I wrap this up. These console manufacturers, and by these console manufacturers, I mean Sony and Microsoft, they need to start leveraging their IPs way better and stop with the only big cinematic bullshit. Like, I know Microsoft is better at this than Sony are right now. Let me be clear, right now. Because Sony, when they had Japan, I mean, just go look at the PlayStation, the new PlayStation Plus service. Look at all the body of work there, and look at all those Japanese games that Sony used to make, those exclusives. And then understand, they're all gone. They fired all those people. They fired it's done. You're not getting that on PlayStation 5. You're not getting that on PlayStation 6. It's over. They fired all of that and just said, we're going to put our money into Square giving us exclusivity on games, just so we could keep games. They were more worried about keeping games off Xbox, basically, than producing their own Japanese games. It's why you're never going to get another Bloodborne. Really, you know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, you could get a Bloodborne because the developer still exists, but a lot of other games, yeah, like, it's just not going to happen. So, Darkson, you said you're going to play Fortnite with me next season? That's what's up. Oh, you said you like that game now? I'm telling you, Fortnite was always fire. But when they removed that building for players like me who just didn't like the building, because like, you see somebody, they start shooting. I mean, you start shooting at them. And they start building. And you're not as good as, with the building. And you don't want to get good with the building because you just like, it's just not my thing. Yeah. This zero build mode is amazing. Then obviously the way you could run now and jump and climb up on buildings, it just made the game. Like, if the game was an 8 out of 10, well, now it's a goddamn 10 when it comes to big battle royale games. I love it. Like, absolutely. And I really don't go a day without at least playing a single match. And most of the time I play more than one. But yeah, I was saying, what was I saying about? I was talking about them leveraging their IPs, right? Damn, you made me lose my train of thought, man. But it's all good. Nah, but I'm trying to get back on track with what I was saying because I was I was just making a point. Damn, I do not remember. But yeah, leveraging the IP, they definitely got to do that. They just got to do more with it. Because again, there's no play. Listen. All the big graphic game, that's amazing. Don't get it twisted. And that's always going to make people mad hype. Like seeing God of War, when people see God of War fans are going to go crazy when they see Ragnarok. But if you saw Ragnarok, right? And then it ended, the trailer, and then they just tease at the end a God of War game that looked like a Castlevania game, but it's Kratos, and it's sprites, but it looks amazing like a Castlevania game. You think they won't get excited, every God of War fan, and be like, yo, I want that shit too. That look fucking great. Yeah, because you want to know why? It's the IP that they love in the style of a other game that they potentially love or they know of. And it's just exciting to see the IP in a different style. They can do this all the time. It's what Mario does. You get 2D Mario, you get 3D Mario, you get Paper Mario. They can do it too, and it's okay. I know stuff like Metroid, Federation Force scared a lot of industry folk to think, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. We can't do, a chibi Halo game. You could. You could do a Spartan game that's third person that plays like Uncharted, but it's Halo and it's sci-fi in space and be fire. You could do that. You could get a team to do that. Hey, play in the Halo universe. Spartan number, I don't care, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's him. Yeah, it's his storyline. That's who you with on this planet doing some bullshit. Again, you could do a side-scrolling Spartan game that's like Metroid. This Spartan got stuck in the bottom of a planet and has to escape. The game is not exactly the same. He's not morph balling. He's not getting all these crazy abilities, but maybe the suit could be broken and he's putting it together as he goes through, the damn world. We've already seen enough Spartan action with no suits, right? We see Spartans have sex. We see Spartans goddamn butt-ass naked ripping out chips out their back. I think we'll be fine with a game with a Spartan starting, bare bones and basically becoming fully Spartaned up. Or Covenant, he was in the damn, like the area that's basically not hostile territory. He had his armor off. Hostiles came and all of this, kill mad people, and he's caught up in it, and he just has to get back to his suit and stuff like that. And then you get there midway through the game and things like that, get to better guns, abilities, and whatever the case may be. The point is they could do that style of game. Nothing is stopping them from doing that. There's probably developers who want to make a Metroid-like game who would love to do it. And it's like, oh, but I love Halo and the Halo universe who has this exact idea. It's probably been pitched. And they probably was like, nah. And it's like, why? It will cost you nothing compared to the amount of money that y'all put into all the bullshit. And if you would have had a Halo spinoff, the IP would have been on the higher high if, all right, Infinite came out, but it was what it is, which is, disappointing. It's like, it's good in there, but it's disappointing, period. And then you got a show come out, which worldwide is doing great. Paramount said they gave it a season 2. I'm enjoying it a lot. Most people are enjoying it and having fun with it. It's just the most diehard vocal, hating ass, can't change anything about Halo fans who complain. If they would have had a spin-off game that was, let's say, like an Uncharted style game or like a Metroid style game, right? 2D Metroid. You would have had something right now that have been causing buzz for the IP, and people would have liked the story. They would have liked the gameplay. They would have been excited for more of that style of Halo game. So maybe people ain't feeling the mainline game too much. Now you got this spin-off thing right here that people really digged. And yeah, it might not sell as much as Infinite because that's an online game and make you as much money because you got a battle pass in that game and stuff like that. But it's still cool to have other things that can potentially make new fans. Maybe it's like, yeah, I don't like first-person shooters, so I never got into Halo at all. Just because I can't play the games, I don't care about the show, I don't care about nothing. But if there's a game that they do play and that they do enjoy, and then they do get the lore, that makes them go, okay, let me go watch the anime. Let me go watch, the countless live-action things that they've made, because there's a couple things out there. Or the show, whatever. Now they're a fan, and they're watching your content. Now you got a Halo fan. They might buy merch. They might, whatever the case may be. But you made a new fan by stepping out of your comfort zone. And I feel like these companies, these publishers, the ones who make the decisions, they don't understand that part. Nintendo has so many fans because it's like Pokemon, man, for them. People think that we play Pokemon. No, they play Pokemon. And we're the fucking Pokemon. And they catch us all. Because they'll be like, all right, we're going to have a home console, we're going to have a handheld. You know what I'm saying? If one don't work, the other one worked. That was the strategy forever. Oh, you like Pokemon Stadium? We got this kind of Pokemon, game over here, which is mainline Pokemon, the handheld. Go buy a handheld. Or if you bought the handheld, we got Pokemon Stadium. Go buy Pokemon Stadium. You like 2D Mario over here, Mario Land? Guess what? Go buy yourself a Super Nintendo. There's Mario World coming out right there. Boom. Like, from Game Boy to Super Nintendo, whatever the case may be, they always did this. They always had multiple things, and they were always ballsy enough to say, this is Zelda 1. This is Zelda 2 is completely fucking different. This is Mario 1. This is Mario 2 is completely different. Here's Metroid 1 on the home console. Here's Metroid 2 on the handheld. And it looks completely different visually because, well, it's just green. Because that's the visual style that this console does. You know, they've done this a million times over. Oh, you want to play a classic real? Because, I mean, at the time, let's be honest, that was more real of a Zelda game. And I'm saying Minish Cap, you know what I'm saying? Oracle of Ages, then the Ocarinas and Majora's Mask. Yeah, those was the mainline ones. Yeah, those are the one we were going crazy for at the time. But when you say, oh, mainline, real, those fit in more because what we had at the time, Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Link's Awakening, you know what I'm saying? Link to the Past. So those miniature games actually match the mainline, giant air quotes, now, you know what I'm saying? A series. And they existed at the same time alongside 3D Zeldas. We've had Zelda Crossbow Training. We had a Tetris Tracker. Spin-offs, man. If they can't get you through mainline Zelda, oh, I don't like those big adventure games with puzzles. It made me think. There's a lot of reading. Whatever the case may be, they'll catch you on Hyrule Warriors. Maybe you become a fan of the series through Hyrule Warriors. See what I'm saying? They're always trying to do different things. Like you got Metroid Prime, you got Metroid Pinball, you got, you know what I'm saying? Like they try different things with the IPs, and some things work and some things don't. Federation Force, it didn't, you know? But the fact is that they tried and they do cool stuff. And I feel like Sony could do the same thing. Sony should have never been firing nobody. They should have been actually giving them good ideas to produce them more money. Not a single soul should be fired from Sony. When they made, I mean, how many PlayStations did they sell? They was at the top of the world. How you go from being at the top of the world on PlayStation 4, right? And then just going into your brand new console, you just start firing everybody going into it. Like, what the how does that make sense? Oh, y'all ain't producing enough on the last console. Fucking we produce enough. How much did the last console sell? You don't think it was the body of work that made the console look enticing enough to all the people who went out and bought it? You don't think we part of that body of work? They clearly didn't. And they got rid of all those people. And that's wild to me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what imagine Nintendo going into the Super Nintendo Switch. The next console, they fire a bunch of teams from EPD and be like, yeah, we firing these guys, firing that guy. And it's like, yo, they all made cool ass shit that went 20, 30, 20, 30, 15, 10, 10, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4 million. All good numbers. All of them are good numbers. Some better than others, but all good numbers. It's like, yeah, we fired that team or that team. Like, no, none of them should be fired. For what? No team should be fired because it's like, I feel like you could always give them an idea. I feel like you failed if you fired a team of talented people because you couldn't go in there and sit down and have a conversation. Look, I got these ideas. Or what ideas do you got? Let's see what we could do. But hey, what do I know? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's wild to me the way they did this. And look, bringing this back to Xbox and their delays, because I was focusing on Sony a lot right there, like, they have a lot of studios. And I know at some point, and I know we've been hearing this a lot for years, people always say this, but I haven't been saying this for 1,000 years. I've only just been saying this for literally like 2. Saying like, yeah, it's going to be really crazy as they're buying all these, studios and all these development teams. And it was already getting crazy with the quality of the games you were seeing was wild. Like, the Forza games being good and a lot of things that they, like, again, I got to go down the list of games they do from Ori games and all the stuff that they've been putting out. People act like Xbox haven't been putting out dope games over the last few years. Like, whatever, man. Even Gears 5 was fire, you know what I'm saying? As a single-player mode, like, everything. And the multiplayer, obviously, people love that too. It's not my cup of tea, but it's good. And I know it is, and I've played it enough to know it's good. And the single player, like I said, was mad good. I love what they did with that open world sections and things like that. But yeah, at some point they're gonna have to have consistent stream, and I know that's always been the thing. They want to do at least a game a month. You know what I mean? Or I mean, a game a quarter or something like that. 2 games a quarter, whatever the case may be. Yeah, they definitely gonna get there at some point, because at some point everything is gonna line up, and if you don't understand what that means, then you're probably not a Nintendo fan. Because we go through years of Nintendo, they working, and you be frustrated like, damn, they ain't shit right now like this, and there's something there. It's always something, but it might not be your cup of tea. But there be years where it's just something, and it's not a whole lot of things like this year, like 2017, like the crazy years with Nintendo. But you're gonna get those crazy years, and when they come, they're gonna be awesome. You know what I'm saying? Because the people who sitting there working and taking their sweet time, they definitely gonna deliver something fun all the time, and they always do. But again, you got to get to that point. Microsoft will get there, and when they do, guess what? I'm gonna say, while it's awesome now, there will be a time where potentially, even though it's mad studios, and it should be unlikely for Microsoft, especially once they got Activision and that ball is rolling, and they can say, yeah, now we're doing Crash and we're doing this, and we actually doing, we made Activision again. We cleanse it of the cancer that it's filled with right now, and now we got them back on track. That's what I want. You understand? That's what I want, because don't get it twisted. Activision, like EA, when they're good, they're crucial to this medium. So it's disappointing when you used to hear, EA was being ranked as the worst company in the world to work at. Remember that? We used to always get that in the 2010s. And then they started getting their shit together, and things got better, and obviously they started producing cooler stuff. Like Knockout City and Star Wars games that are interesting, and obviously, the Battlefield game this year wasn't all that, but they figuring it out, and the next one's gonna be fire. You got Infinity War, Modern Warfare created, and all that. Respawn got. It's gonna be good, more than likely. I'm not gonna bet against that guy, because Modern Warfare games are fire. Titanfall games are fire. You know what I mean? Those are some of the coolest shooting games on the market. Period. Yeah, it will be harder for us to get into this period of complete dryness where it's just like one thing coming out, I feel. But it's still going to be a time where it's not going to be the best time ever, because guess what? Developers who make your favorite games, they're going to take time to make your favorite game. And while they making your favorite game, you're likely not getting a game of the caliber of that game, hence it being your favorite. So if it lines up where a lot of your favorite games all come out, like let's say next year, you're going to get a new game from the developers of, I love Prey. I love, the damn Deathloop and whatever, like the games that they made. And I love Redfall. Well, you're getting one of those next year. And then, I love the Starfield team. Well, you're getting one of those next year. I love Forza Motorsports. You're probably getting that this year or next year. Guess what that means? Now you got to wait 5 years for each of those developers to come around again. See what I'm saying? So it could easily line up, because they dropped at the same time. It can line up where they don't, have anything for a little while. But because they have so many, that shouldn't be the case. And then if they have, they got teams a lot. Where if you just go one game from those teams, it's like, yeah, it's enough to spread out 2-3 years, and enough time for the next team to come around. For them to get development time and come around with their next project. But that's not the case. They got multiple little teams within. So what I'm hoping is that they really letting these teams. No, if I was Phil, let me wrap up this podcast like this, because I came back to this second headline. But this is what I would say. If I was Phil Spencer, this is what I would do. I'll give teams creative freedom for their one big property. This is your one game where at times you might have to take all your other little side teams from within that one main team. So let's say it's the Collision, right? The Gears team, which we know they're making multiple games. But let's say there's now 3 teams within the Collision. So let's say when it's time to crunch, in the sense of we got to go hard and wrap up this last portion of this Gears of War 6, to not crunch, they say everybody comes together and we finish this up, we get it out, and then everybody goes, spreads out, and they go back to their game. The main team continues making the DLC and whatever the case they're doing, supporting the game, hot fixes and all that. Right? That's fine to me. Like, everybody comes together and help. It's like Monolith. It's like Monolith stops at one point and go, all right, wait. We can't continue with Xenoblade. We got to go help the Zelda team on this thing real quick. Retro Studios has done it with Mario Kart, where they had to stop whatever they were doing in order to make Mario Kart tracks and stuff like that. You know? So, it happens. But it'd be cool if Phil was in there. It's all right, what's the main thing y'all want to make? All right, that's the thing y'all going to make. But then, on the little team thing, that like the little teams on the side, that what y'all going to be making is what I want. What I believe Microsoft needs. Because I'm actually reading the room. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that I won't listen to, your idea. But it's like, yeah, I'm sorry. Somebody's making Banjo. Somebody's making Jet Force Gemini. Somebody's making Killer Instinct. Somebody's making Halo spin-off games. Who wants to play in the Halo universe? What team? Oh, look. This team from the Doom team raised their hand, said they want to play in the Halo universe. Cool. Do your thing. Whatever you want, do it. Whatever you want. Play, the universe, the rules. You reach out to 343 so that your story doesn't clash with them on the story front. That's it. Do whatever you want gameplay-wise, no limitation. And most importantly, fuck the audience. Because you're not making their Halo. You're making your Halo. It's a spin-off. It's something else. And that's not disrespect. That's what Nintendo says too. They go, yeah, we don't care about the mainline Zelda team. I mean Zelda game design, when making a spin-off game. Like, we just don't, because we're doing something else. We're playing with the IP. We want people to look at this new thing we're doing and say, oh, look how they playing with my IP. That's cool. I want to try. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, like, we're making Paper Mario. We're not making a 3D Mario game. So we're not attempting to. We're doing completely different things. It serves completely two different audiences. So yeah, that's when I say, screw the guys who are always crying that they want Halo 1, 2, and 3 only, over and over and over again. Even though we gave them a way for them to play those games over and over and over again, better than ever, and they still cry. But yeah, screw those guys. Do whatever you want in the universe. So somebody's like, yeah, we want to make this crazy platformer, super cool. I would say, how would you feel about adding texture to the Banjo-Kazooie universe and putting your platformer with that character, whatever, in that universe? And it's like, yeah, I know your art style is completely different. Who cares? Yoshi's in Mario Universe. Donkey Kong is in Mario Universe. These guys, there's so many IPs in Mario and they change up the tone, change up the art style. Who cares? It's a platformer. It's cutesy, animal-like characters. It fits. Why not? We all Microsoft. It's your thing. You can do whatever you want here. There's no limitation. You can say this is a different planet. The only way for Banjo to get here is for him to nuts and bolt a goddamn spaceship and fly to it. But it's the same universe. And it's like, oh, cool. Like, that's what I would do. I would shop around all of our IPs. And then I would also have them creating their own IP. So it's like, if there's 3 teams within one team, I'm forcing one of those teams to make one of our IPs. But not forcing in the sense of, I'm asking, like, yo, like, which one of y'all want this IP? Which one? You know what I'm saying? So almost like you have a goddamn, I don't know, like a show, a presentation to shop around, and then the studios, they bid. And how do they bid? You be like, all right, like the person raised their hand. All right, Banjo. It's like, yo, me. And, all right, stop. Wait, everybody got to shut the hell up. What's your idea? Yo, imagine Banjo, doing this, that. And, all right, cool. What's your idea? Because you said you wanted it too. Which one is better? And then have everybody cheer, scream, like, yo, that one's better. And I'm saying this shit is private. This is personal. It's just all the people that Microsoft owns. Like, they literally bought out an arena to do a show for themselves, to better their future. They can technically do this. You know what I'm saying? What I'm asking isn't crazy. And then everybody will be just sharing ideas. Like, it'll just be a really cool, I think, environment. Will the work be hard? Absolutely. But that's everything you do when you're creating. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it would be fun to have people say, like, imagine having Phil Spencer up there and he puts up Gears of War and the Collision is sitting there. They can't put their hands up for that. They already play with Gears of War. So they looking like, who won it? And it's like, oh yeah, look, Arcane raised their hand. They won. And then this other studio, Double Fine. And they're like, what the fuck? Double Fine? Like, I really want to hear what this motherfucker got to say about what he want to do with Gears of War. And then it's like, yeah, I want to do a crazy, like a crazy comedy, in the Gears of War universe, cartoony visuals, da da da, sound crazy. If people start laughing at the idea, like, yo, that shit sounds mad funny. You know, imagine him chainsawing it out, and everything is funny and mad cool. Do it. If we all laughing, what makes you think the whole world ain't gonna laugh with us? This fun, it's funny. Oh, but it could hurt the brand. No, it can't, because once we make it clear that we not fucking around, we having fun with our brands, we doing everything. We did Gears Pop. Did it hurt the brand? No, we could do anything. That's what I would do. And then you would never have droughts no more and never have issues when you have teams making games that aren't going to take 5 years to make. You know, it's like, oh yeah, this is a platform, but this is a, and not saying that platforms can't take years to make. Of course they can, but just different things. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we're going to do, like you telling me in Gears of War in that universe with all those crazy trucks and all those vehicles, you know, there's always gearheads. No matter what in life, there's always somebody who wants to play with the toy. Even if he never drove a car, he's not even a gearhead. If you see a car, you're going to become one. If you put 5 people in the room, 2 of them are going to become gearheads with a car. Who never, like, yo, it's 5 aliens in a room with a car. Once they figure out that it goes vroom, vroom and drives, some of them are going to get addicted to it. You know what I'm saying? So, you telling me in the Gears of War universe, there ain't people somewhere, somehow, having races and things like that? Yeah, right? Probably, right? Racing those goddamn crazy vehicles they got. So you can make a racing game like Twisted Metal in the Gears of War universe. It's a car fighting game. Absolutely, you can do that. I don't even need to say Mario Kart. Like, they can do Mario Kart and have all their IPs and literally have it be Nintendo Kart, but Microsoft Kart, and just have all their characters goofy looking on carts driving around and using items. Like, oh yeah, I got an energy sword here. I got a shield from Halo. I got a goddamn weapon from Banjo. I got a goddamn laptop gun from Perfect Dark. So I threw it on the track. On the next lap, when all the cars come around here, that shit is gonna spray all of them up. So then, you know what I mean? I could get through. Like, cool shit. You could do it. You just need to have the creative people there to be like, yo, that's awesome, man. You know, and it's not just creative, I mean, in developers. I mean creative as in leadership, too. To say, let's really leverage the shit out of our IPs. And when they say milking, we say leverage. And every time they say milking, we say leverage. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is. The only people who say milking are haters. Remember when people used to always say, oh, they be milking Mario? When was the last time you heard that? Honestly. I'm honestly asking. When was the last time you heard somebody say, yo, Nintendo will be milking Mario? That shit stopped. It stopped with the same thing about Nintendo being kiddie. Like, yeah, some people, of course, are going to know, like, a family-friendly console is always going to be, you know, first and foremost, you're going to say, oh, Nintendo, because, well, that's where Mario lives. That's where Pokemon lives. That's where Animal Crossing. Of course, you're going to say Nintendo. That's where Mario Kart lives. Come on, for crying out loud. But a lot of those stigmas, all that shit went away. You know what I'm saying? All of it. Nobody says Nintendo milks Mario no more, because Nintendo, for every Mario game they put out, they put out a whole bunch of other stuff and Xenoblades and this and this and that. You know, so nobody says that. And yeah, I just feel like these other studios, they got to wake up to the fact that there's more than just AAA gaming. And there's more than just indie. There's big publishers making games that are indie in the sense, but they not. Back in the day, what people call indie games today was our $60, $70 NES games on the cart. Hollow Knight is just Metroid. You can say, oh yeah, but it's an indie game by today's standards. No, that's just a label, my G. You can say, oh, it's indie in the sense of money versus, all right, fine, yeah, but the actual way people use indie is just a label. And it's like, dude, no, you know what it is, Hollow Knight? It's just a banging-ass game that mad people are anticipating. That when it comes out, it's going to sell millions of units. That's not an opinion. That's factual. Nobody's thinking about Silk Song as, oh, yeah, I can't wait for my favorite indie game to come. No, they're waiting for the sequel to Hollow Knight. That's it. There's nobody saying, oh, I'm waiting for the sequel to that indie game, Hollow. No, they want that banger to get its new banger. They're putting that. Most people who are fans of Hollow Knight, I'm sure they're putting that game on the same pedestal that they put Breath of the Wild on if they were a fan of Breath of the Wild. I want the sequel to that amazing game that I love. If Celeste 2 was coming out, I'd be foaming out the mouth like if it was a goddamn 2D Mario announcement, because I love Celeste. Celeste was a banging game, like mad fun to play. And people would be like, nah, you know, it's an indie game. That's not worth getting hype. That don't sell consoles. What? To you? To me, it does. It definitely sells consoles. The fact that I can get all these indie games and all this stuff, you know, because of Game Pass, that's what sold me on Xbox more than Halo, more than Gears of War, more than everything. What sold me on buying the Xbox was Ori, bro. That made me jump in after Xbox Red Ring of Deaths and all the hell that I went through with that, and me saying, never again. When I saw all the good moves Phil Spencer was making, all the user-friendly moves, and seeing Ori, and I was like, see, that's the type of shit that I want to see. You know, yeah, I played it on PC first, but I was like, listen, they keep doing good moves, I might get an Xbox. And then they kept doing good moves, and I just got one. And the reason why, it was a lot of indie games. You know what I'm saying? When I look at this year, the games I played, it's shit like Death's Door, which is my favorite game so far I played this year, other than Kirby. But I don't put Kirby on some higher pedestal because it's a game that I went out and spent $60 on. I'm like, a good game is a good game. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just both great games. You know, and yeah, but that's just me. And I think more gamers need to take that mindset. You know what I'm saying? But look, gamers do have that mindset because a lot of gamers, when it's necessary, they're quick to act like a little small experience is the biggest, greatest thing ever. Don't believe me? That Astro shit that launched with the PlayStation, which I know it's a good, fun platform game. I love platformers. So I am never going to hate on Astro Bot and all of that. Like, I like that exists. That's the type of shit Sony needs to do more of. You know? But Astro Bot, that game, they was, you gotta get a the PlayStation, you gotta feel the deuces. They were hyping that shit up. And if you think that's just a one-off time, we could go back to the PlayStation 4. What was that goddamn Reso gun, right? Reso gun, the size, and that game was good. That game was real good. I played that game. And I'm like, that's a good game. But they were putting that shit on the pedestal, and it's like rightfully so, right? Because you really didn't have much to play at this time. If you didn't care about playing your little Call of Duty at the time, which I think was Ghost when PlayStation 4 came out, those were the things that you had to play. They're going to be more meaningful to you. You just bought this console, whatever. So it's like, yeah, you see, that proves the point right there that I'm saying, like, those games matter. When other things ain't floating your boat, those games matter legitimately, you know? So, yeah, I just did a whole other damn topic right there. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this podcast, which was goddamn long as hell. But hey, it is what it is. Listen, it was the first live one. It had technical difficulties. It went for mad long. Shit gonna happen. I'm just having a good time. I hope y'all had a good time watching this. Stay tuned for the podcast later this week, because this is last week's podcast, technically. You know, I mean, I just had to record it later for various reasons. But yeah, stay tuned for the podcast later this week. And whatever potential live streams I do during the week, because I will be live streaming some stuff, obviously. Probably tomorrow I'll live stream something. I don't know what, whether it be Kirby or Fortnite. I'm kind of leaning towards Fortnite because I haven't streamed it yet. And it would be fun, you know, to stream a competitive multiplayer shooter on the channel. So, yeah, stay tuned and, yeah, do all that good stuff. Like, share, all of that stuff. The Recipe, man. I'm trying to bring y'all, you know, amazing content. I don't know about it being the best, but it damn sure is good in my opinion. So, yeah, until the next one, peace.